The Immigrants by Glynn Sinclare. Chapter 34. Cricket. John and his cousins always played cricket. They played in the Caribbean, and they played from the moment they set foot on English soil. They had formed their own cricket team, single men against married men. If they were short a man, then and only then would they invite another to join the family team, just to make up the numbers. The cricketer would have to have a reputation for being a superior bowler or very good at batting. When the elders of the family came to the UK, they studied the cricket leagues, signed up, and played different teams every week. When the family was settled, the elders returned home. Going to a cricket match all day meant preparing a picnic for the children and myself, packing nappies for baby, change of clothes if necessary, bottles of milk, and anything else required. I did not go to all the matches. I got my chores done. When it was a home match, I could join them later. I enjoyed it. If the away match was at the seaside, which they arranged once a year, they would hire a coach and make an event of the day. The men went on the cricket pitch, and the women promenaded beside the seafront. They stopped at the shops to buy sticks of rock that were never eaten, buy souvenirs made in China, ate fish and chips at a cafe, and had an enjoyable day. I also liked it if the match was in a nice residential area. I would wander in and out the roads, looking at expensive houses and beautiful gardens. Children would eat from the mothers of whatever family they were playing with, and I would feed who was around me at the time. The men had tea in the pavilion, for which they paid a small fee. John got new cricket regalia. I thought that the white cricket jumper was expensive, so I decided to knit it myself. It would work out cheaper. I can knit and follow a pattern. The problem is I have never got the tension right. I am a loose knitter. When I knitted children's layettes, I would knit the smallest size, and it would fit the baby up to a year old. I started my husband's jumper, making sure it had a thin line of green, yellow, and green bands around the sleeves and bottom of the jumper, and I was very happy with the result. After pressing it with a damp cloth and laying it out on the table, it was perfect in every way. On the day of the big match, it was finished, and I presented it to John. He put it on and was completely swallowed up in it. He was very nice about it. He said to give it to your dad. On my next visit home, I gave it to my dad, who liked a Guinness or two and had thickened around his waist. He was a keen gardener and had a beautiful garden, so I suggested that he wore it while he did his work. To my surprise, my daddy, who had a great sense of humor, laughingly said, "Would you mind if I wore it to the pub? My friend's wife always knits him his jumpers, and he wears them with a great sense of pride. He is wearing a canary yellow one at the moment. So can I say, 'Mammy knit it for me?' That will make him sit up." I said I would be delighted. One of John's cousins, named Elmo, was a tall, good-looking man with a voice that carried. No one would deny that he liked a good bottle of wine as well. At a Sunday cricket match, fitted out in his whites and looking every bit the professional cricketer, he took up his position, waiting for the call to bat. We were at an away game in the leafy outskirts of London, a very English suburb. As his cousins played, Elmo coached them in a loud voice from the sidelines. If they dropped a catch or did not get one, he let rip, to the amusement of the wives of the opposition and to the embarrassment of the wives of the family. He had a word of advice for every cricketer as they walked from the wicket. When they were bowled out, he let them know where their failings lay. Elmo was the last man called. The wives of the opposition sat upright to see the coach as he proudly took to the field to win for his team. Not so. He was called last for a good reason. He was out for a duck. They could not help laughing as Elmo came off the field with his head held high to applause. He had provided an afternoon's entertainment, even if the family team did not think so. In the pavilion bar that evening, there was much good-hearted discussion on his antics, while hardliners dissected the game. They went through every bat and bowl, with many a pat on the back and a smile for the cricketer who did well. If he spoke, they would listen, as he was the man with the knowledge today. There was always the player who thought that he was unfairly bowled out, as the ball never touched his inside leg. The men lingered, while I anxiously wanted to go home to get the children settled for the night and prepare supper. When they got older, the children had to iron school uniforms. I had to give them their school dinner money, and they would say, now, I rarely had the correct change. Then we all headed to bed to wake early for school and work in the morning. At the end of the season, there was a big party and presentations made for the highest scores for the season, man of the matches, etc. The wives cooked dal puri, fried fish, fried chicken, curried mutton, rice, salads and coleslaw, cake and dessert. The drink flowed, and a good time was had by all.